predictive. Never. They never have been. So we got a long way to go.
Now, when we're looking with what happened here in Colorado, very often you've said Trump's got to watch what he says. It has implications. Do you feel any sense of regret about how you characterized what was going on at Planned Parenthood after the attack in Colorado because of what the man said, which seems as though he was influenced by some of the rhetoric that was coming out of you and others that painted a very ugly picture, an unfair one, about Planned Parenthood?
Oh, please. Really, Chris? Look, 9 videotapes have come out about Planned Parenthood. It is very clear what they have been doing. And in fact, Planned Parenthood several weeks ago made a quiet little announcement that they would no longer accept compensation for the sale of what they call fetal tissue. That's about as close to an admission as you can get. In fact, it is an admission. Look, what happened in Colorado is a terrible thing. This guy is a deranged murderer, and I hope he is put away for life. It may be that we should be classifying that as domestic terrorism as well, but that has nothing to do with the truth of what is going on in Planned Parenthood. And this is a typical left-wing tactic to try and shut down the truth by silencing people. This has happened over and over and over again.
Ms. Fiorina,
let's focus on...
The question doesn't go away. The videos were edited. You know that. The scenes that were depicted...
I don't know that. Well, there has been forensic evidence of those 9 videotapes over and over again. There have been reports that say they are not edited. So
of course they were edited.
It's amazing to me that we're still having this conversation.
No. Let's be careful about what we're saying. Of course they were edited. What you're saying is
let's be very careful about what we're saying,
You're
Chris.
saying that
let's be very careful about what we're saying.
You're saying that the raw portions of the video substantiate the claims that you and others made. That has not been proven to any satisfaction in any objective way. There were scenes and pictures depicting horrible things that nobody should want to see that weren't authentic and weren't germane to the conversation within the video. We had the guy on
Chris,
here. He couldn't justify it. Now you got somebody who went out and killed in the name of that.
Really? Really? Okay, I don't recall, Chris. Careful. You're a journalist.
Yes.
I don't recall anybody in the pro-life community celebrating this tragedy. I don't recall any of that happening. And I also know for a fact that Planned Parenthood, by the way, have you ever watched those videos?
Yes, I have.
You ought to if you haven't.
I have.
You really ought to if you haven't.
I have,
But I don't understand why Planned Parenthood would make an announcement that they're no longer accepting compensation.
To clarify a policy that was used to villainize them when they felt that there was no need to do that. That's what the head of the organization says.
It's clear what your opinion is, Chris. It's clear what
What's
your
my
opinion
opinion, Ms. Fiorina? What do you think it is?
Well, I think you've bought the Planned Parenthood line, hook, line, and sinker. So good to know that.
No, what I'm saying is I'm asking you if you feel that coming out of Colorado, it gave you any new sense of the power of rhetoric and what it can do, especially when it's playing on a sensitive issue like abortion, because of what we just saw with, as we agree, this deranged man who went out and killed in the name of saving the baby parts.
Okay, so in other words, you would also accept that President Obama's rhetoric might incite people when he is standing in the Philippines and saying that anyone who opposes any of his policies, whether it's the Iran deal or stopping Syrian refugees, when he says that some of us, like me, like other Republicans, are as bad as the Iranian hardliners shouting death to America, or that we are as bad, we're giving ISIS recruitment tools. You would say that that rhetoric is a problem as well? I mean, it is unconscionable, to use your word, to deride people who are conservative, their rhetoric, but not to acknowledge that the left uses incendiary rhetoric all the time. It is not objective to say that the left wing does not try and shut down conversation that they don't want to have by accusing people of inciting others. This has happened in election cycle after election cycle. Remember Sarah Palin? Sarah Palin was somehow responsible for the murder, the attack on Gabby Gifford. It turned out that wasn't true either.
Well, I don't know anything about what you're saying about Sarah Palin. I certainly never made that illusion, and
of course you do. Of course you do.
No, I really never
made
have.
That illusion.
Well, but I didn't, Ms. Fiorina. You know, you got to be careful about who you accuse of what. What I'm saying is that Of course, dangerous rhetoric is what it is. It should be identified and it should be called out because it doesn't help the process.
Well, have you ever identified President Obama's dangerous rhetoric? Have you ever identified President Obama's dangerous rhetoric?
What President Obama
have you
in the
ever
Philippines
identified
has
Hillary
to do with you and
Clinton?
Planned Parenthood.
Oh.
What does one have to do with the other? It's just a question about whether or not you felt differently. That's all. Well, do you feel differently after what you said there and what happened in Colorado?
You don't like my answer, but
that's all.
I do not. I stand by my statement. I stand by the facts. And I think Planned Parenthood has done an excellent job of pulling the wool over lots of people's eyes. I am asking you a question, Chris,
Please.
which is, do you not acknowledge that the left wing uses incendiary rhetoric over and over and over again to silence messages that they don't want to deal with? When Hillary Clinton stands on a debate stage and says the enemies she is most proud of are Republicans, does that help our political dialogue? I don't think so.
I would agree with you. I think that what we have seen out of both parties is disgusting. I think it's cheapened the process. I think it's turned people off, and I think it's fed an anger that now is almost out of control. And I think that the job of all of us is try to bring the system back into conformity with what it was supposed to be about, which is people with different ideas going at it, not scaring people, not pushing people to violence.
Okay, well, I agree with you on that. And so what I'm going to continue to do is talk about the facts, talk about the truth, talk about what's really happening, and talk about real solutions to solve what is actually happening. That's what I'm going to do.
You are always welcome to come on New Day.